segment of Life's About Living. I have a good friend and the co-founder of Vigaroom, Alan Winters, with me today. Alan, how are you?
Hey, Dr. Chuck. I am doing great. How are you today? Happy New Year.
Man, Happy New Year, Alan. You know, there's a lot of folks out there, you know, the new year is starting and we've just kind of went through this COVID crisis. Hopefully we're getting out of it. And so there's a lot of people beginning to think, you know, maybe taking a step back and looking at their health a lot. I mean, you know, health has been one of the biggest topics now in the media that everybody's talking about because of COVID, and just begin to take a step back and look at some things that they could do to make, you know, 2021 a healthier year. And so I know that you're an expert in this area, not only in your business and in Vigaroom, this new company which you started, which helps businesses and people begin to kind of, you know, look at their health differently and become more proactive. But I want to just, you know, you to give us some personal insights into your story and maybe tell us a little bit about, you know, some things, some steps that you made initially to kind of start in this journey of becoming more healthy.
Okay, fantastic. Happy to do it. And I appreciate your having me on this program. So my story of getting healthy actually starts when I'm about 16 years old, and I'm a really scrawny kid. I'm about 5'7", Chuck. I barely weigh 120 pounds. My mother takes in my pants, and they're slim to begin with. So right. I decide, okay, I'm not a bad athlete, and I really get passionate about swimming. And I got it from my dad, who was a pretty active swimmer, and I start swimming. And I start swimming to the degree that once I start, I can't stop, which teaches me this lesson. When it comes to some lifestyle and behavioral issues, once you get a habit, a good habit, it's more painful not to do that thing that you have gotten the habit of doing than it is to do it, which is kind of the reverse way people see some of these healthy lifestyle things. Like, oh, I don't want to do that. Oh, it's punishment. Oh, it'll be painful. Oh, you know, it just feels like I can't pull that off. So this habit I developed started when I was kind of toward the end of my high school years, and it morphed into more swimming and then running and then tennis and a lot of physical activities. All of a sudden along the way, I started meeting people who talked about nutrition and like started sharing things with me. Like, you know, not a great idea to go to McDonald's or Taco Bell or Burger King all the time. Probably there's better ways to eat. So I'm introduced along the way to something called clean eating. What is clean eating? You just eat real food, like real food. Like it's not in a package. It's not macrobiotic. It's not organic. You know, it's just food. It's real food. So I kind of learned over the course of several decades that you can feel so much healthier. And health is not just you're not sick. Health is, whoa, you have incredible energy.
Yes.
You've got vitality. And you've got stamina on the job. You've got stamina for family. You've got a level of engagement that is really promoted by good health.
Right.
Chuck, you mentioned COVID, mostly bad outcomes, but there are a couple of good outcomes, I think. One is people have now had to recognize that underlying health matters. If you are not diabetic and you don't have heart disease and you're not severely overweight, the odds of COVID taking you down are much
low.
Very low.
Yeah. And that's one of the things. And I really believe that's one of the things that it's the elephant in the room that nobody's talking about. And I think one of the epiphanies that I had, Alan, is that, you know, it seems like I've sacrificed my health for everybody else's for the past 20, 25 years. And, you know, COVID really made me take a step back and go, wait a minute, what am I doing? I mean, you know, I could get COVID and die tomorrow. And so it really kind of made me look at my lifestyle. You know, it's interesting, you know, in the United States, you know, if you think about the amount of money that our country spends on healthcare, we're way off the charts when compared to other Western cultures. And yet those other cultures are even more healthier than we are. And it's because of lifestyle. It's not a political thing. It's nothing. It's the fact that we, it's just the things that we're doing to ourselves.
Yeah. And you think, again, reflecting on COVID, now people are cooking more. Yep. Cooking is a good thing. Cooking means the ingredients that are involved with what you're going to eat, you actually take care of that. And nutrition does matter. So yeah, I agree with you totally. There's so many things in our control. If you break your leg, yes, you really should go to a surgeon. It should come to you. But on a day-to-day basis, there's so many things that matter. They really do. And, one of the things I've thought about a lot over the last few years through our business is there's health fanatics, and I probably fall in that category. But that's a really small percent of the U.S. population. Right. So reaching to health fanatics is not very helpful. It's really not, because folks know what to do who are health fanatics.
Right.
What I've been really passionate about is people who don't presently or haven't recently paid attention to what they're doing with their lifestyle. And lifestyle is really, if you break it down, Chuck, lifestyle is so straightforward. It's what you eat. It's how you move. It's your mindset and emotional health, right?
Exactly.
And then there's some ancillary things like your financial well-being. But the truth of the matter is it's movement, it's nutrition, and it's maintaining a solid, positive emotional state.
It's multifactorial. It's not just one thing. It's a whole kind of a gamut of things. Don't you think, Alan, that it starts in the way that we think? I really like what you said earlier, about the fact that so often when you get into a habit of making good health choices, when you don't make good health choices, you begin to feel the difference. I mean, I've noticed this over the holidays because I, once again, kind of got into that holiday mode of eating stuff that, it tastes good, but then after you eat it, your stomach hurts. And you're like, it's not as good now because now you know the difference. Right? So let's break this down a little bit, Alan. Let's talk a little bit about some basic habits that we can, as far as diet. What are some basic things that you do that maybe someone who's maybe not a vegan, but maybe someone who's just trying to figure this out? What are some basic things that they can do to kind of start making the right health choices?
Yeah. So from the nutrition front, from the what you put in your mouth front, I look at it really simple. 80% of the time, you should eat food that is recognizable. So that would include fruits. It can be meats and cheese. It's not limited to like restrictive diets, but it should be real food. So I always say, if you look at something that's in a package and you don't know some of those ingredients because they're long chemical names, you probably should avoid it. If I have a glass of milk, it probably is just milk. If I have a steak, it's a steak. If I have chicken, again, as long as it's not filled with antibiotics, it's fine. Or eating vegetables is fine. So my first rule for myself and anybody that we counsel and work with is eat real food. It should just be real food. So
it's so simple.
It's so simple. And by the way, that food tastes just as good or better than processed food.
Absolutely.
And that's the thing to stay away from is highly processed food. So if 20% of the time you fall off the wagon, but 80% of the time you're eating healthfully, having pizza every once in a while is fine. Having a hot dog every once in a while is fine, as long as they say natural hot dog. So my whole notion of nutrition is not to make it punishing, to make it healthy, easy, and accessible. So that's kind of on the nutrition front, the main thing. The other things I feel really strongly about is, and you mentioned it just a moment ago, about eating during the holidays and feeling stuffed, bloated, your stomach hurts, you're lethargic, you just don't feel great. Don't overeat. And those of us in America, hey, I grew up in a family where my mom said, to my brother's a cardiologist in New York. She said to Craig and I, she said, clean your plates because children are starving in Asia. Now, if you look at it, Chuck, it's kind of funny. By my finishing my food, starving children in another country will be better off for it. Makes no sense, right? But luckily our genetics we were skinny kids, but we ate enough that if we didn't have those genetics, we would have been 500 pounds because I would eat sometimes a whole chicken at dinner. I would eat 10 pieces of bread for a snack. So the main thing is 80-20 rule, eat real food, and don't overeat. And I think this is one of the biggest problems in the U.S. because, let's face it, weight management is such a huge issue and tied to so many other bad health issues. If everybody just got sensitive to the fact that I'm full enough, even though there's more over there I could take, I'm actually pretty satisfied. And that's good for leftovers for tomorrow. In fact, I could freeze that and enjoy that next week or next month. So I think it's really basic stuff. It's also stuff it's not hard to get in the habit of. I'm full enough. I ate real food and I'll make enough that I'll freeze some and I'll have it another day.
Yeah, it's a mindset. I think so often, we're taught that as children that we're wasting. But in a sense, if we eat it, it's more of a waste if we eat it. I mean, it takes more energy to get rid of that food after we eat it. I like the 80-20 rule. I really like the dictum that if you can't spell it or if you can't pronounce it, don't eat it. I mean, those are really simple things.